And third is financial market integration. The theory of balance of payment tells us that, except for the capital flow caused by the difference in the long-term real rate of return, generally speaking, the transfer of financial capital can't indefinitely maintain the balance of payment deficit caused by the structural imbalance. However, capital flows to make up for the trade deficit can prolong the time of economic structural adjustments. In quite a long period, the elasticity of price and wages and the monetary liquidity of production factors in the area will decrease. Therefore, the cost of economic adjustment will be reduced due to the financial transactions highly integration. And other channels is the so-called wealth effect. That is to adjust the economic imbalances through the capital flow. The trade surplus countries also are mostly the capital outflow, and namely the financial assets, and the net debtors is the right holder of the wealth, would increase the marginal propensity to consume of people and increase the spending, and this reduces the country's balance of payment surplus. And in contrast, if the trade deficit country is also a net debitor and has a decline in the wealth, that helps reduce its balance of payments deficit by reducing people's spending. Thus, the integration of the financial market in the currency area can reduce the need to change the terms of trade through exchange rates so as to eliminate the imbalance of payments in the currency area. In addition, the exchange rates fluctuation will cause the increased uncertainty, increase the transaction costs, and resulting in the segmentation of countries' domestic financial market and its external financial market. Therefore, it is a good choice to adapt a fixed exchange rate or a single currency when the regional financial market is fully integrated. The fourth is the commodity market is highly integrated. The imbalance between the United States are able to be successfully adjusted and solved. And economics attribute this benefit to the internal openness. Namely, the commodity market completely integrated with each other between the states. And economists also believe that a successful currency area should be highly internal openness, namely the widely traded commodity in that area. Openness is greatly measured by the number of indicators, such as proportion of tradable goods and non-tradable goods in production or consumption, the proportion of the total value of imports and exports in the gross national products, and the marginal propensity to imports, the proportion used for imports in the increments of income per unit. The higher the ratio, the higher degree of openness of the economy. And in the 1963, American economist Mike Kinnon has raised this question, asked the question that should a highly open country adopt the floating exchange rate system, or this country collaborate with its trading partner countries to form one currency uh, currency area? In that currency area, they adapt fixed exchange rates, or they adapt one single currency. First, suppose the current country is with a high openness. That is, the tradable goods take a big percentage in total output and consumption. And under this condition, a country, if it adapts exchange rates, the foreign currency adjustments. For example, if it devalue its own currency to adjust its external balance of payment imbalance, that will cause the imported goods the price in the domestic market to rise, and therefore it causes the domestic price level fluctuating totally. Meanwhile, if they cannot control the untradable goods, the increase in the domestic market, it will eventually cause the contractional in the demand and unemployment. Secondly, and if the open economy, people lack of the currency illusion after the domestic currency devaluation, people will feel the consumer expenditure increase and real income decreases, and the people will require the increase of their wage, and it will cause the production cost to increase. That will write off the exchange rate fluctuation, the impact on the terms of trade improvements. It will write off the exchange rates changes, the impact on the terms of trade improvements. Lastly, open economies consumption relies very much on the imports. If the elasticity of demand is small, in order to adjust a certain level, the external inequilibrium should adjust the exchange rate change range is relatively high. He also believes the closely related trade activities. The floating rate is not the optimal choice for the open economy, and some countries with some open economies with relatively close related trade entities form a relatively close currency area, and they adapt a commonly floating exchange rate to the rest of the world. And this is optimal to achieve their macroeconomic targets. And fifth is the macroeconomic coordination and political integration. That is the production diversification. The degree of the production diversification is high when the country has this degree of the production diversification degree is high. The demands has more resistance to the external shocks caused by the demand transfer, and therefore it can adapt and fixed exchange rate to the rest of the world. However, when the country has a relatively low degree of the production diversification, they should collaborate with each other to form the currency area and to adapt a floating exchange rate. And some other Berger and Fleming, two scholars, believe that the Phillips curve characteristic the countries with similar Phillips curves characteristics should form one currency unit area, and the imbalance of BOP reason is each country has different policies to inflation and unemployment. So if they should have the same policy attitude as is so-called political integration. Those countries has political integrity can form a currency union. It obvious that each country member should adapt exchange rates totally depends on the exchange rate totally fixed and the currency system operates properly is the key is in the public's confidence in the fixed exchange rate. So it requires each authority to give up the monetary authority and collaborate with each other, even to set up the super nation central bank.